Essex Business Forum. I'm Adrian Squire, I'm your chairman. My job to get you through the agenda. I am ably assisted by a leadership team who will now be upstanding and introduce themselves.
They're all not elected now.
Good morning, everybody. Brian, Social Secretary.
And here he is.
Come on, Vince. No, we go. Oh. Hello. Didn't see you.
When I said I'm ably assisted.
I'm Vincent, I chair the membership committee and I'm also the official timekeeper. Go on, Brian.
Good morning. Thank you.
Good morning, everybody. I'm Terry. I deal with membership and recruitment.
Good morning, guys. Ben Golding, Education Coordinator.
Good morning. Scott, your meeting secretary, and that bloke from Toolstream on the website.
Yay.
Thank you all for being seated. I'll try not to call upon you. I'll try not to call upon you too often during the meeting. Right, let's get going with the meeting. I need to check what this is that's going to happen first, that I fully well know. It's the performance league, and Scott will tell us what's happened.
It's exactly what I will do. I will tell you, because the sheet I'm going to pass around was sent to the printer that's upstairs, not downstairs, and I left it there. So, it is the end of the month. We are into April. Thankfully, I am a nerd and I can remember who was at the top, and I can remember precisely how many points I I was really pleased that 2/3 of the members had more than well easily cleared that 80-something point mark. So everyone's doing great generally on their points. So it was 88 points was your target for each month. The winner managed to get 238 points. So absolutely cinched it. And we all know who it was because he's been leading all the way through the month. Mr. Taxman. Yay!
He's got no room on his wall. Thank you, Paul. Well done. Education spot next, and Ben.
Thank you very much. Well, good morning, guys. So what I want to talk to you today about is, are you getting the most out of your 60 seconds? In the way, are you getting the most opportunity to ask for your dream referral? Because it's all very easy to sit there when you're doing it 60 seconds to maybe tell a little bit more about your business or tell a little bit more about what you do. Fantastic. But are you missing a trick? Because this is your chance to ask for your dream referral. Now, I'm going to tell you a little example of many years ago. I was in the 3-lettered networking group that we dare to mention. However, there was one guy every week at the end of his 60 seconds to say, this week I'm looking for introductions to Alan Sugar. Again the next week, this week I'm looking for introductions to Alan Sugar. And it kind of became his strapline at the end of every 60-second presentation. And everyone used to laugh, and it became a standing joke. However, one meeting, a visitor came along, and at the end of the meeting she said, actually my husband works for Alan Sugar and works for his company. I will be able to put you in touch with somebody that will be able to help you maybe get that referral filled. And it did. He actually got to meet Alan Sugar and ended up doing some work with Alan Sugar. But where we were all laughing at it, it actually was his dream referral, and it came into it, and it actually happened. So when you're doing your 60 seconds, maybe put in a specific person you want to speak to, or specific jobs or businesses you want to be connected to, because you never know who people know, and it's your chance to ask for your dream referral. And with that, if anybody does have any introductions to Kylie Minogue, then let me know. Thank you for listening.
You should be so lucky. That's taken it out of me. I won't do anything else for the rest of the day. Right, okay. Next up, membership matters. And Terry has something to
Good morning again, everybody. So, three membership matters. We are now looking out for an electrician officially. The electrician slot is open. Brian, the last electrician, just couldn't commit to attending. He was given plenty of opportunities, didn't attend, so his membership was brought to an end. Unfortunate, but there it is. So we are looking for electricians. So anybody's a trade, especially particularly, but any of you know an electrician, get them along, tell them how great it is, etc. It'd be wonderful. Second one is Alison B. You all know Alison and like Alison. She's got some family issues. I won't go into detail. Some of you who know her will know what they are. Quite serious family issues. And she won't be able to attend at the moment. She still wants to be a member, and her company is still running, so they are still open for referrals. Alison's limited in what she can do. But she's well, she's dealing with a family issue, and she will be back as soon as she can. So hopefully you'll bear with her. And the last one is Hannah. Please note, Hannah's put in an application to join us, which is great. It's before the membership committee at the minute, and we'll be back to you very shortly, which is exciting.
Excellent. Terry, that's brilliant. Right, now, moving on, we now approach the 62nd round. Your chance to get your dream. Alan Sugar's never been one of mine, but
Chloe Lopez.
Right, so what I'm going to do, as usual, before we start the 62nd round, is pass around the box. Check it, make sure you've got enough cards for other people to make referrals, and make sure you are adequately represented. I see that the other thing has gone round. Fine. Good. So we're all in action, and now it's the 62nd round. Toby won the Oscar. He was threatening to do more than polish it. Well done, Toby. Thank you. Everybody to the round. Right. So you will be first, and you'll be followed by John Freeman.
Good morning, everybody. As there's no chance of me winning the Oscar this morning, I thought I'd do some shameless name dropping instead. And it's funny you should mention Alan Sugar. I'm a big fan of The Apprentice show. I know, as we were discussing earlier, it's become a bit of an entertainment show, but I love watching people. And I was particularly impressed by Catherine Byrne, that she was the losing finalist this year. I really like how she went about things. So I connected with her on LinkedIn, commented, liked a few of her posts, and messaged her. And then last night we actually got into a chat on LinkedIn, spoke for about 20 minutes on LinkedIn, and I've got a one-to-one set up with her next week, which is very nice. But you know, it's worth connecting with people that are in the public eye, because you never know who they might know. So if anybody wants an introduction to Alan Sugar, I may know somebody who may be able to do it. So yeah, just a bit of name dropping this morning.
Thanks very much, Terry. We enjoyed that. John Freeman is next, followed by Mike Skinner.
Thanks, Aidan. Good morning, everyone. My name's John from the One Stop Property Shop. I'm the handyman and decorator. And I do lots of other things as well: carpentry, tiling, kitchens, bathrooms, fences, electrical fires. So I'm away for the month of May. And I'm on wind down towards the end of this month. So if you've got any referrals, get me all after that, I'll be dealing with them on my return in June. Thank you. Oh, and if anyone knows Carly Minogue.
Thank you, John. Mike Skinner is next, followed by Kieran.
Morning, everyone. Mike from Black Water Media, and I'm going to have a talk today about corporate and business headshots. So companies like to introduce their staff, or at least their senior management, on the website, and this usually falls to a photographer really. I say usually because the last people I did headshots for were a notable arts company looking to update their website. So my first step was to have a look at their website and what shots were already up there. And their team photos were all phone selfies, ranging from a guy walking in the woods to another guy stood at the bar with a beer in his hand, which is not the best image to be updated. Obviously, not all companies suit the standard formal headshot, and I'd happily encourage an outdoor company to go out into the woods or somewhere else and get shots like that. But it's the degree of consistency and just good photo quality that adds it all up on the website and gives it a better look. After that, the biggest hurdle to overcome is the standard human response to walking into a room, being stood on a spot and surrounded by lights with a camera pointed at you, which is look like you'd rather set your teeth on fire than be there. So we have a chat, do some camera setup shots, pull some few faces, mess around a little bit, try a few standard poses, And at the end of it all, we turn around and say, okay, we're done, and it's not a big deal. So I'm looking for any companies looking to improve or just update their team headshots, whether they want suits with a white background or a surf shack and on somewhere. Thank you.
Thanks very much, Mike. Mr. Kieran, and you're followed by Mike Hicks.
Good morning everyone, I'm Kieran Peaty from Studio 40. Now, last week I introduced you to the feasibility studies that we produce. And this week I'd like to reintroduce the cost plan, which is something I think I showed you on the Zoom calls a few months ago. Now the cost plan forms part of the feasibility study output. It's something we produce once we've defined the planning constraints for your project. We produce figures, ultimately, from very simple dimensions and information about the rooms that we're looking to extend and refurbish, and they are based upon current market trends. In short, they provide an initial understanding of project costs, and they give you ideas on everything from scaffolding, skip height, bifold kitchens, you name it. It's 40 pages of numbers. And we use that to establish a baseline before we design anything so that we can actually manage the project costs throughout the project. And the reason we do that is because, as I said last week, clients are looking to understand what they can do, how much it will cost, how long it will take. And at Studio 40, we do not design and dump. We do not leave clients to fend for themselves with designs that cannot be delivered for the budget. We take the fear out of the unknown by asking the right questions at the right time. So if you know anyone who's looking to extend or new build, send them my way. I'm Kieran Peaty from Studio 40. Thanks very much.
Thank you, Kieran. Mike Hickson, followed by Melissa.
Good morning everyone, Mike Hickson from LSA Systems. Based in Billericay, we service business across Essex, London and the South East. I have 5 technicians, 1 developer, 1 administrator and 2 other directors within the business. Our services include network and cloud security, IT hardware and software, on-site and off-site backups and IT help desks. The largest network we supply covers 80 endpoints and the smallest covers 1 endpoint. I've worked in IT for 30 years and I've seen enormous changes over those 30 years, but one constant over those 30 years is that IT breaks. And when it breaks, you need someone to fix it. So if you come across anyone with broken IT, remember, you know a man who can. That's Mike Hickson from LSA Systems.
Melissa, and you're followed by Jane.
Melissa Jackson from Referrals. This week I've been asked to look at a number of situations where bounce back loans have been the key feature of the insolvent company. As you all know, the bounce back loan scheme was introduced to support businesses during the coronavirus pandemic. The bounce back loan scheme helps small and medium-sized businesses to borrow between $2,000 and $50,000 at a low interest rate, guaranteed by the government. Guaranteed by the government does not necessarily mean you won't be liable to repay it. The government is now taking steps through the insolvency regime to claw back monies which have been misused. Bounce back loans were made on the condition that they were not to be used for personal purposes, but could be used to provide economic benefit to the business. Bounce back loans must be repaid, and if the director has withdrawn the monies and it's not for proper purpose, it will be investigated, ordered to pay, and could be disqualified. So take proper advice. Come and see me, Mr. Jackson, Cameron Francis.
Thanks, Melissa. James, you're followed by Ben. No,
James.
James.
I thought you said James.
Sorry.
That's all right.
Put my teeth back on.
Jane is my weekend. James from RMK Insurance, RMK General Insurance Brokers. So as much as the educational spot was about being specific today, I'm going to say if you know someone that buys insurance or happen to buy insurance yourself, we can probably help them with it. Whether that's got wheels, whether it's got bricks, whether it's someone that likes climbing, whether it's someone that likes digging, whether it's like someone that likes sitting in their office pretending to have a proper job like myself. James RMK Insurance, give us a shout.
Probably Alan Sugar would be all right though, wouldn't he?
First down.
James, thanks. Ben next. Mike Rogers to follow.
Good
Good morning, guys. Ben Golding from Utility Warehouse. Now, last week I met a lovely couple, Sophie and Nick. Now, Sophie's a hairdresser and Nick is a head teacher. Now, Sophie's been struggling to get her business back up and running after lockdown, and Nick obviously didn't get a pay rise this year being a teacher. So they were desperate to save money, and I was able to help them save around £800 a year on their gas, electricity, home phone, broadband and mobile phone. However, they loved the fact of helping their friends and family to get the same kinds of savings. So, last week, the end of last week, Sophie and I helped 4 of her friends get similar savings on their utilities. And in return, they've earned a whopping £1,400 coming to them next month. So this week I'm looking for people you know that not only want to save money with the UK's most trusted utility provider, but also the opportunity to earn an extra income by helping their friends and family do the same, especially hairdressers and head teachers. Thank you very much.
I suppose a hairdresser is a head teacher.
You're on form today, aren't you?
Or not, as the case may be. Right.
Morning everybody, Mike Rogers from the Mortgage Store. I am a mortgage broker and I arrange mortgages. Standard default when you haven't bothered to prepare anything for 60 seconds is to say what you've been doing all week. Well, my grandchildren have been staying, so yesterday was spent in front of their computer screens. The day before that we went to Tropical Wings, which has actually been shut for 4 years, but as we opened it's very interesting. And the day before that was raining, so they wanted a pyjama day, so we stayed in all day. Any further back than that, my memory don't go that far. I did some work sometime, I can't remember what it was. So anyway, what I'm looking for this week is anybody that wants any help or advice with regards to mortgages. That'll do.
And for all one-to-ones, bring your pyjamas. Sounds good. Right, thank you, Mike. Nick, you're next, followed by Jim.
Okay, well, good morning. My name's Nick. I'm a structural engineer, as you know. I provide a structural design service for anything a homeowner might need. Maybe a very straightforward job like taking the wall down, designing the steel beam to go over the opening, maybe designing all the structural elements for a 2-storey extension, side extension, loft conversion, maybe a combination of all 3. People are doing that all the time. I also provide a structural inspection service for home buyers who want to be sure that the house they're looking to buy is structurally sound, hasn't got any problems. So that's what I do, structural designs for homeowners, structural inspections for home buyers. My name's Nick, the business is called Nick Cook Constructions. Thank you.
Thank you, Nick. Jane, you're followed by Terry.
Hello everybody, Jane Mallion, runs at Rapscallion from the English Cream Tea Company. So we did have a dream client this week who's booked with us. It's taken some time of reeling it in, but if I share it with you, perhaps you can have your radar on for something similar. So this week it's HP, the company, and their agency, a marketing agency, have booked with us 600 gifts to go out, all for one day, nationwide, including Northern Ireland and the Isle of Man, and they want everybody to join in a Zoom meeting and to have treats and goodies. So all sorts of millionaire shortbread and brownie and things like that are going into these gift-ins, going out for a specific date. That's really good for us, although it's a lot of packing. Might have to borrow you all one day a day. But if you could keep an ear out for anybody wanting to put on something like that, a giant Zoom meeting, or for agencies that organise this, that would be marvellous. Oh, Jane, love you forever.
Hope that doesn't put you off.
Made my children emigrate.
Thank you, Jane. Terry.
Yeah, good morning again everybody. Terry Rayling from TM Law Solicitors. I don't know if many of you are commercial landlords. I know one or two of you might be, or you know any commercial landlords, but they've had a pretty rough time over the last 2 years among other people. And the reason is that commercial landlords have been restricted from recovering rent from their tenants. They haven't been able to go in and take possession, which is the normal thing. They haven't even been able to sue for the arrears. They haven't been able to do anything. Their hands have been really tight. Well, those regulations came to an end at the end of March 2022, sort of, and they've been replaced by very serious restrictions about what you can and can't do about historic arrears. You can now go in and take possession, but not for historic arrears. It's very complex. It all revolves around the timetable. So if you know any commercial landlords who have had issues, haven't been paid rent, and would like to know what their options are, please give them my details. I'll be delighted to talk to them about what they can do. That's Terry Maley, TM Law. Thank you.
Thanks, Terry. Stuart, you're next, followed by John Hammond.
Good morning, everybody. Stuart from LG Networks. Just we look after sort of business telephone systems, communication systems. Yesterday we had quite an extensive meeting with one of our largest clients on a call centre with about 150 people in it. And we went through all the different features that they have on their phone system. There's lots of different things that they've got going. So they're running a full call centre. So when you dial in, you've got lots of different options. You can get placed into a call. You can get bespoke messaging on hold. You can do things like take payments over the phone. You can, obviously they record all their calls. They produce management statistics for every penny of their spending that they use for their incoming marketing. And that's really powerful when you've got a call centre with 150 odd people. But the best thing about our phone system that we supply is we can supply all exactly those same level of features if you've got one person in the office. If you've got two people, a small team of half a dozen people, if you still need to know how they're performing, you still need to have the benefit of all those features like call recording and such, that's available as well. It's not restricted by the size of the system. So if you know there's any small businesses that need some help with their telephones, want to get a bit more bang for their buck, this one's actually me, Stuart at LG. Thank you.
Thanks, Stuart. John Hammond will be followed by Neil.
Good morning, everybody. I'm John Hammond from JMH Technology. We supply all types of security systems. Today I'd like to concentrate on the new regulations that are now being enforced. They've been out for a while, concerning automatic doors, gates and barriers. If you don't comply to the new regulations and someone gets hurt or your vehicle gets damaged, you are liable. And there's a lot of companies out there that aren't complying to the regulations when they're maintaining the gates. Now you could sue them if they haven't done it right, but you might need Terry to defend yourself, right? So be aware, there's a lot of regulations out there and it costs. And we're just dealing with RMK, we're waiting for the parts to come in. We're going to put the extra safety sensors on that are required at our cost because we posted it ages ago. It's our problem, not the client's. And that's how we treat business. We deal with it when it comes into law. So that's me, John Hammond from JMH Technology, applying technology to security.
Thank you, John.
Terry was getting very incisive there.
Yeah.
Neil, you will be followed by Scott.
Hi everybody, Neil from an event catering and Chile Republic. It's been a super busy time. Last week we were down at the Oxford and Cambridge boat race, had 2 units and 2 separate parks. Over 5,000 people attended and we smashed it out the door. Took 2 vans full of equipment and food and brought 1 back. There was a complete sellout. We have got the Give Back Festival coming up on Easter weekend in Rayleigh. And we just continue to get even busier and busier and busier. May is just about fully booked out, and we even sent out 2 days ago, thanks to Mr. Toby, our first wholesale chili jam order that went off to the lovely ladies at Cheese and Nibbles for their other networking group members. Yeah, everything's absolutely fantastic. We're about to go into full production with the chili jams. Our website is done, and we've even got our new catch line. So Neil Bellum from Chile Republic, making special, taste incredible. Thank you.
Right. Incredible, thank you. Scott, followed by Vincent.
Good morning, Dr. Scott. There are 200 or so ranking factors to push your search engine to the top of page 1. And it's without question that one of the most important is how many other websites point at your website. So other third-party sites that are linking from theirs to yours, it's like a vote of confidence. The more links you have, the more push it gives you. It's easy to cheat that system a little and buy links. So if you're interested in enhancing and giving your search engine scores a lift, we can do that. You still need to do some of the other efforts involved, but we can cheat and shortcut a little bit. If anyone is interested in buying 6,000 links a month, 10,000 links a month, just to really elevate and make sure that you've got more links than your competitors have, give you that extra ranking factor, give me a shout. It's quick and easy.
Thank you, Scott. Vincent, you are followed by Tina.
Hello everyone, Vincent from Speak Print. We're based in Ganshill Village. We're the best printers in the world. Apart from all the printing we do these acrylic signs, which is 5mm clear acrylic with the graphic printed behind it, stuck to it, and then we use these lovely chrome standoff fixings, so that when it goes on the wall, here's one I prepared earlier. It looks pretty smart, This is just a small one. We can do them 3 metres by 1 metre, so we've done some very big ones for companies that can stand outside the offices on the street, or they can go inside the reception. So if you know anyone that might want an acrylic sign, I heard Alan Sugar really likes this. He's got loads. But if he wants any more, that'd be a great referral. So Speak Print, you think it, we ink it.
Thank you, Vincent. Tina, you're followed by Brian.
Good morning everybody, my name's Tina and my company's called Liberty Executive Services. I'm a secretary and admin service. What I'd like you to look for me this week is people that dread going into the office. Dread going into the office because they've got so much paperwork and they have to wear a hat. So if you know anybody that's dreading going into the office because they've got loads of paperwork that's piled up, so I think if they go in, oh God, I'm just going to take a picture now. If they go in and it's all falls down, they'll need help. So if you know anybody, please pass on my details. I'll be happy to help. So it's Tina, Liberty Executive Services. I'm not a 9 to 5, I'm a staff.
Thank you, Tina. Welcome back, Brian. You're next, followed by me.
Good morning, everybody. Brian Page, therapist, Pilgrim Hypnotherapy. I saw a salesman 3 weeks ago, and his head office was in Manchester, and he had to go there once a month. And he drove, and he said, I'm fine driving on the motorway unless there's a hold-up, and I go into a severe panic attack. Can you get rid of that? So I said that's comparatively easy, and we had a few sessions. He was due to go to Manchester about a week or so ago, and he phoned me and he said, we've got a problem. So I went to Manchester, there was a hold-up, and I was absolutely fine. And coming back, there was another hold-up, and I had the panic attack. Now, this really indicates to me how black and white the subconscious is. There's no perhaps, maybe, could be, because I didn't include the return trip, he had the panic. But now it's all happily sorted. So I'm looking for people who have panic attacks, phobias. That's Brian Page, a therapist, Pilgrim Hypnotherapy, improving the quality of life through hypnosis and arranging dinner parties. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Brian. Aidan Sprite from TM Law and Quality HR, wearing both hats today. For those of you who employ or are contemplating employing, what's the minimum wage? By law, as an employer, you must pay the minimum amount on average for the work hours that are worked. This is called the national living wage if you're over 23, or the national minimum wage if you're under 23 or an apprentice. Current rates, well, they're reviewed every April, and so from this April, age 23 or over, £9.50 was £8.91. 21 to 22, £9.18. 18 to 20, £6.83. Under 18, £4.81. Apprentice, £4.81. Something as interesting, informative and on message as that must be a contender for the Oscar. Paul, you're next.
Good morning, Paul Booth from Booth & Co, Chartered Certified Accountants based in Brentwood. Start of the year, tax year, national insurance rates have gone up by 1.25%, so tax planning is really important. The biggest tax savings are those people earning between 100 and 125k, where the marginal rate of tax at that level is 60%. So you can make some very good savings. We've taken on quite a few clients
recently who are earning more than 100k. So that's what I'm looking for today. Anyone who's earning more than 100k who needs some tax planning and assistance with their tax return. That's Paul Booth from Booth & Co. Minimise tax, maximise wealth.
Thank you very much, Paul. That leaves only one more person to go, and that's Hannah, who has been here so often she's really a member, but will be here next week. Hannah, you're on.
Hello, Hannah O'Shea from HFO Media. I specialise in social media, helping businesses stress-free with their social media. I can help, guide and teach you. I do all social media platforms, not just TikTok. So if you're looking for anyone who, if you know anyone who needs any social media help, just get in contact with me. That's Hannah O'Shea from HFO Media. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Hannah. Toby?
Frankly, I'm disappointed. No singing, no dancing, no poems. Tina came closest with her hat. No, a few honourable mentions. Aidan, no. Sorry. Money with these change hands. Terry, that was close to my heart because I've got a tenant that owes me about £4,500, so I might need to have a chat with you. Stuart, could you possibly see if you could do Barclays call centre? I was on hold with them for over 2 hours last night without speaking to a single human being. Came straight off the phone for them, I gave up, and got onto First Direct in less than 2 minutes. So have a chat with Barclays, and the account's being moved to First Direct. Scott, I like the way that you talked all about backlinks but didn't mention backlinks once, which was good because not using internal language on the external world. So I thought that was very good. But I'm passing the Oscar on to somebody who's my client has become their client now. Also, a second person in EBF that has done work for them because Matt did their branding. So Neil. I look forward to the thank you for the money.
I put it in a few days ago.
Thank you for your time in adjudication. So we well done, Neil. Congratulations. Right. We move forward. And the move forward is for the meeting secretary.
Oh, yes. So, last week we announced the introduction of the new referrer of the month. Just because I put all the formulas into the spreadsheets quite clearly by an absolutely huge margin. He doesn't win a prize for it, but last month it was clearly Paul who generated the most referrals. But starting now, we are recording that, and there will be prizes for giving out the most referral opportunities. Just remember to tune in and listen out for those, because we're going to start making that worthwhile. £13,000 worth of new money generated in the last week, so well done.
Thank you very much, Scott. Is there a synergy team meeting coming up? And if so, Paul, tell us about it.
There was one planned for next Tuesday, it'll be the second Tuesday of the month, but we've got the EBF rearranged Christmas dinner for Tuesday, which I will tell you about later, no doubt, starting at 6:30. But if anyone wants, instead of the synergy team meeting on Tuesday, if anyone wants to meet up for one-to-ones, let's say 5:45 on Tuesday, I'll ping an email around, so if anyone wants to, just before the actual meeting, they're welcome to, and I'll see what the interest is. If there's only 3 or 4, we can do one-to-ones in the team meeting. If not, we'll just meet at the dinner as arranged.
Paul? Weather. We know it's the Mayor of Gants Hill, and by his own words, in his 60 seconds, we have the best printer in the world. So we are very lucky to have the one and only Vincent Goodard here.
Save it for later. You may want to change your mind. Right, I'm going to be helped today by my glamorous assistant, Pauletta. This is an old school PowerPoint presentation. That's what it is. I didn't give it to him beforehand because I didn't trust the naughty corner to get all them out of order. So, hold it up. Hold it up now. Thank you very much. Right, so I'd like to start by, don't do a bride on me.
Yeah.
I'd like to start by letting you know a little bit about me. I'm 54 years old-ish, and I've lived in Melbourne since 1991. One of those statements is an outrageous lie. I'll let you decide. You can do the next slide now. That's me when I had hair. Just thought I'd throw that in, just to prove to you I did have hair once. Next slide. I've been married to Stacey for nearly 30 years. That was taken in 1987. It's been a very long journey, but what have I got to show for it? We've produced 2 beautiful children and a lovely kitchen. With good behaviour, I'll be eligible for parole in 2022. That's this year. We've got 2. Yes, thank you. We've got 2 children. That's not one of them. Candice and Rafi. We've also got a cavapoo called Schnitzel, who's definitely the only person in my house who truly loves me. Next slide. This is Candice, my daughter, my lovely daughter. Next slide. She graduated from Oxford Brookes with French and Business. She's a BA Honours and she's got a job as Head of Digital Media at Galliard Post. # proud dad. That's Rafi. He'll be 18 on Sunday. What a handsome lad. He's taller than me and he's got more hair. He'll be off to Lancaster University at the end of the year to study computer sciences and has an ambition to go to Mars. I've got a few hobbies that keep me in shape. I regularly go hiking with Rafi in the Peak District. His goal is to get to the tea shop as soon as possible so he can stuff his face with cake. My goal is to try and lose him. But every time I've shaken him off, he's still there right behind me. Right, moving on. In the murky past, when I had hair, I refer you to the previous photo, I was a keyboard player in quite a number of bands. This photo was when the band, the Jan Tots, we supported the Lambrettas at the venue in Victoria in front of 2,000 people in 1982. I don't remember any of it because we got stoned in the changing rooms beforehand. This was headlining with a rock band I was in called Was Fox at the Standard in Walthamstow in 1991. The heady days, eh? My mum was there. I'm also a big MMA fan. Hold up. That's mixed martial arts. And I'm also a student of Krav Maga, which is a street fighting style of self-defense. You wouldn't want to mess with me because lurking behind this middle-aged, balding, actually that should be bald, to be fair, not balding, bald, spectacled man is a Bruce Lee just waiting to explode like a coiled spring. Where am I here? Oh yeah, I'm also an avid reader. Honestly, you can't trust your staff. I'm an avid reader. That keeps my mind active and alert. During lockdown, I managed to plough through the complete works of Oscar Wilde, Great Expectations by Charles Dickens, The Life and Times of Michelangelo, and most of the Mr. Men books. Now, when I'm not playing football on a Sunday, I run in Epping Forest. It's a great way to clear your head in the ethereal solitude, feeling the warmth of the sun streaming through the trees of Epping Forest and getting so wheezy that I can't breathe. My main love, though, is playing football. I've played Sunday League football since I was 19, to quite a good standard, and I've been lucky enough to play matches at Goodison Park on 3 occasions. England legend Peter Reid actually passed to me 3 times in the last match I played. After the game, we shared a communal bath. Yeah, go for it. There wasn't room for 2, to be fair. In the home changing room. All I'll say is that what goes on tour stays on tour. And here's a photo of me in action in another match at Everton. Check out those legs, ladies. And men, if that very inclined. Right, back to the plot. I feel like you know me enough already, so let's get back to Speedprint. I just want to touch briefly on the journey that Speedprint has been through to get to where we are today. In the early 80s, almost every high street had a pronto print, actually more like the late 70s really, had a pronto print or a Callquick. These were big American franchise printers. Before they came along, printing was very much a backstreet workshop or small factory units and not very user-friendly. So my dad had an idea, he was an entrepreneur, and he created Speedprint in 1983. That was opening day, actually. And it was one of the first, thank you. It was one of the first independent family-run print and copy shops in the UK at that time. The main point is that this is our Speedprint Executive Lounge. This is where all the highfalutin meetings take place. We're still here, we keep up with technology. We know what our customers want, they come back to us again and again, so we must be doing something right. Every client, whatever size their business is, benefits from the Speedprint 5-star preferred blue chip executive priority service. What that means is you get what no other printing company can offer you. Hold it there, hold it there. Thank you very much. No, just... Vince can answer any questions or queries that you have. Vince sees your job through from start to finish. Vince checks your artwork to make sure it's print ready, the fonts are correct, the positioning and the colour conforms. If the completed printing job isn't up to Vince's standard, it gets reprinted correctly before you've even seen it, because Vince cares. And that's what really matters, good feedback from satisfied customers. And this is some of it. The Speedprint customer testimonial book. I'll just read one or two. What's the time? What's the time now?
Thursday.
8 minutes. Oh, I've got 8 minutes to go. I've had 8 minutes. Right. Okay. I instructed Speedprint to print my latest set of business cards. Vincent was very helpful, took the time to understand exactly what I wanted. The quality of the card and the finish were excellent, and I'm enjoying giving my business card out knowing that it has the feel of quality about it. I would recommend Vincent, and we'll be going back to see him for my future printing requirements, as Kim Lee does tax returns. I mean, there's loads here. I was going to read them all.
Sorry, Vince, you've got loads of printing.
Too late now. Anyway, social media can also make and it can break you. So getting good reviews is vital. People buy from people. There's a lot of competition out there, especially with online printing. But as I said earlier, people buy into Vince. It's all about the personal service I offer, competitive internet prices, and this book is full of testimonials from my clients. As I always say, someone else saying you're great is much better than saying it yourself. That's it, really. I've kind of finished. Thank you very much, Paul. That's all right. Last slide. Speedprint, you think it, we ink it. Thank you very much. Right, let's do the running.
Vincent, thank you very much indeed for stepping in short notice and highly entertaining. You lie about quite a lot of things there, don't you? Right, the referrals round.
Any questions?
But any questions first?
I told you everything. Well,
I know that you do not like a typo and you pick them up at 100 paces. If a client submits something to you for printing and it contains typos, do you contact them?
Depends who they are.
Yes.
I had an English tutor. I wanted to do some flyers, and it was absolutely full of grammatical errors and typos. I mean, she was an Asian lady, so maybe her grasp of English wasn't great. What was she doing being an English tutor? That's what I want to know. So I just printed it. Shocking, isn't it? Shocking. But normally I do, yeah. That's okay.
Could I have an approximate cost for the lovely wall-mounty thing that you hung up there?
Yes, it's between £30 and £400, depending on the size.
See on who it is.
They're an English tutor on
How much
that.
fibre time?
It's been very reasonable. Very, it's very bespoke because it's all to do with the size, really, as you know.
And they're very good. We've got 2 outside our office.
Oh, have you?
Did you get them from Vince?
They're good to see.
Behind you. Vincent.
That's a shocking
This
photo.
one here, you've only got one leg.
Yes. That was the hopper phone in Essex for us. Yeah. Very challenging. You were allowed to change legs halfway through. That's just unexcused my Anything else? Good, thank God for that. Right.
Shell shock it about. What I did say you didn't hear is you do lie a bit, don't you, about things like your age.
Oh, 54. Did I say 54?
Yeah.
I wrote that about 6 years ago.
Vincent, thank you very much. As I say, stepped in at the last moment. Very entertaining, as always. And we move on to the referrals and testimonials round when you can exercise yourself. We'll start with the naughty corner, the work round.
Yeah, well done, Vincent. Always excellent service to us, I think, for us in the past. Good meeting. Welcome, Hannah, hopefully as a new member, and see you mostly on Tuesday.
Hello. That's good. I think like that's fun. Just had a little one-to-one last Friday actually, which was fun, and a little referral for James for our home insurance due currently due 1st of May.
It's great to have you next week. I'm currently one of Vince's difficult clients, and hopefully we'll get things sorted out soon on my business cards. I've got a one-to-one and hopefully some work planned with Kieran this week. Had an excellent one-to-one with Neil and with Tina, so thank you very much for that. It was really excellent. I'm waiting for that business review to come through. I haven't got any other referrals at the moment, but thanks for a great meeting again. Looking forward to Tuesday.
Thank you for having me. Hopefully I'll be here next week. Great speech. I'll get in contact with some business cards. And thanks Scott again for the talk we had this week. Thank you.
Great meeting as always. I have thank you for the business slip for Kieran for the work you've given me over the last few months. That one. Just testing.
Kieran.
And Vince, your 10 minutes was outstanding. Well done.
Great, 10 minutes, Vince, as always.
Killing you to say that in a turn.
No, I love you. Great 10 minutes. Absolutely amazingly fantastic 10 minutes. And I have a thank you for the money for Mr. Mike Hickson.
We haven't paid you already.
Yeah.
Sorry. Yep, good meeting again. Education slot, I'll listen to you next week rather than you completely know this week. Had a one-to-one with Neil yesterday, which was interesting. And is it just me that thinks the one-to-one that Toby's got with Catherine is to discuss restraining order? See you next week.
Really good 10 minutes, and we had a really good helper as well.
Yes, he was excellent, wasn't he?
Very good. You couldn't have done it on your own. Couldn't have done it on your own. But thank you for money for Terry. With his West Ham socks on. And thank you for the money for John Freeman.
I see what's going on there.
And I had a one-to-one with Melissa. And I'll see you all next week. And I'm looking forward to going and doing some admin support with Neil and having a go at making pasta.
Just being lazy. I can't be asked to get lazy. So you can cook your own.
Fantastic slot, Ben. Really good round of 60 seconds, everyone. So I've got to thank you for the money for James. Yep. No, sorry, and thank you for the money to James for ongoing YouTube works. That's it for today.
Great presentation, Vince. Excellent Ed slot as well. Ben, Hannah, welcome. Nick, I'd just like to say thank you. Our sort of working relationship over the last few years is one of the sort of main touch points of what I've been doing. I really sort of cherish your support and in our projects. Great meeting everyone. Love to see you all. See you next week.
Terrific meeting, thank you. And since you're a member, we'll put the bits of paper in for our one-to-one that we've had so that we can sort of put a point where it matters. Nick, thank you for the money received during this week. Now, 20 years or so I've been a member of this networking group. This week, the best ever. Thank you for the money, show me the money card. It's amazing. So I recently completed a piece of work for Aidan. Aidan owed me £80. £80 is, it was a reasonable price for a good service. Unfortunately, Aidan neglected to insert the decimal point. And I had a phone call from a troubled Aidan who had just paid me £8,000 for an 80 quid service. He called me and said, it was very good, Scott, it's terrific value, but he said, not that good. Can I have my money back? And who said yeah, I put it in, it happened, he paid me, I put it through as 8,000.
He's got that much money in his account.
Just to see this in action, Jane, a referral for you for what you brought along today.
Thank you.
No doubt I'll be hearing the thanks for the money. I've also got another thanks for the money from Howard Bullen, who is alive and as well as you could hope to be, but he's not as good as he has been. He's getting better, but I think it still could be a few weeks before we see him back. But best wishes to Howard for recovery.
Thank you very much. Great presentation, and thank you for stepping in relatively short notice as well, so it's always great to be prepared to have such a good presentation ready to go, so well done and appreciate you doing so quickly. Had a good one-to-one with Neil. Thank you very much, and Neil, thank you for the food that you've been preparing for
That's right, my
as
friend.
well.
It's all there before you go.
Brilliant, thank you very much, and a big thank you to James for bringing me today, and Mike for taking me home as well again. But we will have, I need to chat to you because following the 60 seconds, might have something for the headshots as well that you were talking about as well, so we'll have a chat with that. Jane, from your 60 seconds, might be able to put you in touch with somebody that's similar thing when they're doing the events and meetings to send out the treats and stuff.
Lovely.
So bear with me with that, and hopefully get that in order as well. And Stuart, I know somebody that's for opening call centres but needs something like what you've done for their small company, so I'll have a chat with them as well. Great meeting, see you next week.
It was a great 10 minutes, Paul. Your sidekick was brilliant too. It's a very good head start. Nice breakfast. I've got a referral. Jane would have sent details. I saw Trevor yesterday. He said, "Oh, I need to catch up."
Yeah, I spoke to him yesterday.
Oh, you did? Oh, thank you. Yeah. And I've also got a thank you from good meeting. See you later.
Very good 10 minutes. Vince was a year or two behind me at school, so thanks for telling everybody I'm 55. I appreciate that. And if any of you have got a spare John Freeman that you're not using, can you let me know? Because my John Freemans are always too busy or going on holiday all the time.
That's it. I thought that was a great meeting. And well done for starting us off in style. And Vincent, I thought that was the Vincent comedy show, edutainment at its best. Well done. Edutainment. I patented it. Aidan, thank you very much. I brought along a little gift today that got pounced upon you. Snooze, you lose. Thank you very much. And then I've got ongoing work with Mike, which is great. Put a system going here. And with William V, who's not here today. And with Hannah at the moment, but I'm looking for more one-to-ones. Thank you, everybody.
Well, Vince, no, whatever know you've driven it up on the way over here. It was excellent considering it's a spur of the moment. Well done, tenfold. Much improved from your last assistant.
Oh.
Sorry, I can't hear you. Got some referrals. You're looking good, Brian. Tina? Don't come through when you're over that way. Oh, one more. Scott, website hosting, and hopefully we're going to get together and we're going to do these notes. And looking forward to dinner. You're alright, Brad. Just one more thing. Come on, you irons tonight. West Ham is especially for the occasion. Any support? No support. It's just me then.
Are you wearing shin pads?
Couldn't possibly say.
That's your shin.
He's got big shins.
Great 10 minutes there. I use the things for the majority of our printing and all the signs that we do. And he doesn't call you an idiot when you spell things wrong. He does it quite politely. So. Depends what it is.
Very enjoyable. I seem to remember about 4 years ago you said you were 50-10.
Yes.
Yeah. I have a referral for John. Can anybody guess what it's for?
It's John.
For this John. Anybody guess what it's for?
Alarm.
It's an intruder alarm.
Oh, big
Can you give that to Scott? Got to.
Thanks everyone, great meeting, fantastic slot. Really enjoyed it. Great 10 minutes, really good. Welcome Hannah, and looking forward to one-to-one straight after this. I'll drop you a piece of paper once you're officially in.
Thank you, Paul. Couldn't have done it, but honestly, you were perfect for with the deadpan delivery and baggy jeans. Perfect. Thank you.
Is that a uniform?
Yes, the 10 uniform. Moving forward.
I'd like to say thank you to Melissa, thank you to James, great one-to-ones. Looking forward to chatting with Paul straight after this. Mike, we'll catch up. Tina, looking forward to lunch. Can't wait. Please don't mess it up, I'm really fussy. Mike, love to grab a one-to-one with you soon, if that's possible. I'll reach out to you on that. Great head start. That's it, thank you very much.
Thank you very much for doing the running, Vince. Thank you all for a lively round. As usual, I leave it open to you. Any messages from the floor? Right.
Just to remind everybody, next Tuesday at Miko Restaurant and a bit of Ricky High Street. Up until last Friday we had 10 people coming, but now we've got 22. So it looks like a very good evening. So 6:30 for 7. I look forward to seeing all of you there. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Brian. And yeah, thanks for organising that. I'm looking forward to it. Right. Anybody else? Anybody else? Going. Right. In that case, with the sunshine, with you all attentive, having had a great meeting, thank you all for making it that good meeting. I will wish you adieu and see you next week.